Hey everybody, this is Chris Shipley. Thanks for joining me on a latest update on the Old Man Strength Weight Loss Challenge. So we are 4 weeks, is that right already? 4 weeks after the Farrell's 10-week challenge. Geez, no, 3 weeks. Shit, I don't know. It's been 3 weeks, I think. Let's look. Nothing like being prepared for your quick blog here, Chris. Nice job. Let's see. That was on the 22nd. So 3 weeks. 3 weeks out. So, and as I talked to everybody, what I said I was going to do was I obviously was going to keep tracking my calories. Going to do some walking after work or when I could. Things like that. Not join a gym or anything like that. So, full disclosure, I'm down another 4 pounds since the Farrell's challenge has ended. So I am now at 260 pounds. So again, in January of 2024, shortly before I started my new job and things like that, I was 327. So I am down 67 pounds in a little over a year and 3 months. So let's talk about a little bit about patience. You know, at the beginning of when I had to rededicate myself to trying to get healthy and to lose weight, I was like, God, I've done this so many times. It just seems so damn daunting, and it seems so hard. With it's just trying to figure out how I want to put this. It's really hard with doing it over and over and over again and feeling like you are having to start over again. And that's just been my entire life. So when I was looking at it again and I was like, God, like I'm 53 years old. I'm, again, 320 some pounds. Like how much wasted time have I had? How much shit have I wasted? And so, I mean, it was hard, but I just knew that I didn't want to, I couldn't look, I felt like shit. And I kept remembering how great I felt like in 2008 and 2009 and 2010 and 11. I lost all that weight from gastric bypass surgery in 2008. 2009, I felt the best I ever felt. Like I was like 195 pounds, 200 pounds. I could shop for clothes. I looked good. I felt great about myself. I met Stacy. Like my life was great, and my life's been great since then. Like that's not what I mean, but the the constant yo-yo and yo-yo. So and I got down to like I don't know that I've really talked a lot about this, so let's kind of walk through that. I lost all my weight in 2008. Got divorced. Was raising Tyler and Caitlin, and we were just going at it, and then Kate and then Stacy and the boys came along, and then when I got married to Stacy, I was about 220. And that was probably the best weight that I should have been. I didn't feel any pain. I didn't look sick or weakly. I'm 195. I looked gaunt. And then I was working at Wells Fargo. I think it was like 2013, maybe. And I got laid off. We moved to Norwalk that summer that I was laid off. And then when I went back to work at Wells Fargo, I wasn't working from home anymore. I was in the office, and I was back on calls. And I really swear to God, my weight fluctuates with my depression and my mental health. I hated it. at Wells Fargo there at the end. And I love my friends from Wells Fargo, Mike and Joel and Chris, three of my best friends. That's not an indictment on them. I just hated that job. And I was miserable. And I remember I went back to work and I was in the office and I went to the gas station and I would get chips and shitty gas station food for lunch every day and just sat at my desk and my weight ballooned. I went from there until I went, and I was probably at that point when I started that job, maybe I was 235, maybe. I went from there to when I started at BH Management in 2014, I gained probably 40 pounds. And that was in less than a year. So at that point, I was 270, and I was working at Wells Fargo, or then I worked at BH. And by 2017, I mean, at that point, I was happy. I don't know. The weight just kept coming on. I wasn't really paying attention to what we still ate healthy-ish, like, but, I was clearly overeating and went to BH and we ate out a lot at work and things like that. So at that point, I think I was in 2017, I went on, no, it was 2016. We went to the Ozarks with our friends Ryan and Angela and Tim and Sarah and my sister-in-law Shelly and my brother-in-law Brett. And we went hiking one day, and I was the last one to get up the hiking area. I thought I was going to die. And we came home from that vacation, and I told Stacy, I was laying in bed, and I said, if I don't change something, I'm going to die. I never want to feel like that again. I had, at that point, stepped on the scale, and I was at like 335. And I remember in 2009 I remember the first time I got below 300 pounds after I gastric bypass, and I said, well, I'm never going to see that number again. I'm never going to see a 3 again in front of my weight. So I was crushed. So, I started to track what I was eating and things like that. And then summer 2017 comes along, and Mike Bowers, my neighbor across the street, was working out at Farrell's, and he invited me to Friends and Family Week. And so I went, and then his brother or brother-in-law or somebody had won a free 10-week challenge and couldn't use it. So he let me have it. So then that's when I did the first 10-week challenge at Farrell's. And then finished the 10 weeks, and then that's when I got cancer. So I've had a lot of obstacles and a lot of just bad choices on my part, right? So then we ended up going through chemo and radiation, and then that's when I started hitting Farrell's religiously until about 2020 when I got to, I looked it up, in 2020, they did a at-home challenge where you you weighed yourself, but then you took photos of yourself and you sent it in after 10 weeks. I won that challenge at home. I won the COVID challenge. I won $300 and I was down to like 257, I think was 257. We went on vacation to Alabama. I looked great. We took family photos. Stacy had lost some weight. We both had lost a ton of weight during COVID at that beginning of COVID, which is crazy, right? Because a lot of people gained weight. We were like, fuck it, let's work out. Like we didn't have anything else to do. So then what we did was we ended up, I don't know, something happened after that. I think I hurt my foot. I got a bad case of plantar fasciitis. And then I was talking to Joey over at Ekin Nutrition, and he had a free membership at a gym that he used to own. And so I started going there and weightlifting, and just did not matter what I did. I was just slowly gaining weight. And in 2021 is when I got COVID and I couldn't breathe anymore. I still have a hard time catching my breath. And I just kind of stopped going to the gym religiously. And of course, 2021 was when all the job stuff happened, which we haven't talked about. Again, that ties in, my mental health and my happiness ties into my weight loss. and my health. 2021, late 2020, I worked at BH Management. I thought I would never leave that job. I loved it there. I loved the people I worked with. I thought they loved me, meaning the job. I thought the company loved me. They fired my boss in September of 2020. I truly believe it was vindictive. They then transitioned me out of the marketing department, and I was working in marketing, but not necessarily for the marketing department. There was a person that worked for the marketing department that had temporarily taken over, that her and I did not get along. We didn't see eye to eye on a lot of things. She wanted me to go behind my boss's back quite a bit to do things, and I wouldn't do it. And so when they fired my boss, I was on the outs. I saw the writing on the wall. I took a job with a company called Mercer. And to be 100% honest with you, I told BH when I left that I love BH, but I don't feel like BH loves me back anymore. And I worked there every day and never missed a day of work. When I went through chemo and radiation, I dedicated the time that I should have been home taking care of myself. I made sure that my coworkers didn't have to cover for me, even though they did a lot for me, and I will always appreciate that. And that's how that company repaid me. Was basically telling me I wasn't good enough. So I left. I went to a company called Mercer to work in the marketing department. It was more of a technical job and project management job. Thought I would be there for quite a while. I really liked the people I worked with. That was really hard, learning a new job completely remote. Again, at this time, my weight was starting to go up because I had a lot of stress at this new job, and just some. That's when the first bout of imposter syndrome started to hit me. And then 3 months into that job, they sold my job to a company in Texas. And I was like, I got to move on. So I took a job at Light Edge, and that was a fucking disaster. Weight continued to balloon. I can remember sitting at my desk just eating because I was miserable. I knew I was in a spot where nobody thought I knew what I was doing. They wouldn't listen to my ideas. They wouldn't do anything that I suggested that they do. And I got zero direction from the manager there and the people that I reported to. Zero. I remember going into a meeting and telling them that I wanted to have a discussion about the direction of the role, and they slipped me a piece of paper and told me I was fired. So then I worked for another company after that was absolutely a disaster. They wouldn't listen to me again. It just wasn't great. And long story short, miserable, mental health down, depression down, weight goes up. That's the case. So in February 2024, I applied for, I got a new job with a company that I love. It's back in property management, Artisan Management Group. Artisan is where I belong. They believe in me. I believe in them. Conversely, my weight has gone down. So the story of this entire blurb today is your mental health affects your weight. It absolutely does. And it's an addiction thing. And when you're depressed and you're sad and you have no self-esteem, you go to something that makes you feel good. Whether for some people it's alcohol, and some people it's drugs, and some people it's whatever. For me, it was food. And Will, I know I just said what I said, but I want you to know that's not indicative of you. And if you ever want to have a conversation about why I left, I would love to have it. But I appreciate what SSI did for me, but I had to move. I had to move on. And I appreciate your friendship. I really do. But I told everybody at the beginning when I started this weight loss thing on here, I was going to be 100% transparent with people, because I wanted people to know my struggles, and if that helps other people, that helps other people. But your mental health is tied to your physical health, no doubt in my mind. So, long story short, I'm 260. I have that goal of losing 15 pounds by Memorial Day. And hell yeah, Will, I'm excited for you, really. I mean, you got 2 babies now, for God's sakes. Like, I saw the other day you had another baby, and I was like, I had a mental lapse. I was like, wait, is that the kid that he was? No, wait, his girlfriend wasn't pregnant for like 2 years. What the fuck? So get healthy for those babies. You're gonna have to run around and chase them and coach soccer and coach football and all that other stuff. So I'm excited for you. But yeah, I had that goal Memorial Day. I was 15 pounds. I'm down 4. That's 11 pounds to Memorial Day. I'm thinking I can hit it. Probably not tonight because I'm going to Size House Trivia. And I'm going to eat and drink. And Stacy may have to drive me home. So what can I say? Anyways, I appreciate everybody's support. I appreciate everybody's comments. This means a lot to me. I hope this helps other people. It certainly helps me. So with that, check out the rest of the content on the Three Beards Media Network. Shout out to our huge sponsors, Revelton Distilling Company, Greenberry Realty, Kyle Lehman at Wintrust Mortgage, and of course, Andrew Downs at AKC Marketing. And our 2 newest sponsors who do an amazing podcast, Chair Shots and Chokeholds, Joe Knapp at Hat Trick Breaks, and Jake Moores at Burkwood Farms. And then check out the rest of our lineup. We have Old Man Strength, with me and Aaron Wall, Sunday or Monday nights, depending on what night Aaron's free and I'm free. And our guest this week is Willie Farrell, who is a co-host of Billy and Willie's, which is every Tuesday night. We have Hawk's Eye View with Drew and Andrew. We have Chair Shots and Chokeholds again with Jake and Joe. And then Side of the Storm with Brent and Marcus and Dave. And lastly, give a shout out to Sean Roberts, Heather Burnside, Ken Miller, the whole crew at KXNO. They've had a couple of our content creators on lately. They've always been super supportive of me and of us. And I just want to make sure that they know how much we appreciate that. So with that, we'll catch you next week, maybe. We'll try to go next week. No, next week's Easter. Let's see how I get through Easter. We'll go 2 weeks from now. We'll see you guys again with another quick shout out on Old Man Strength Challenge.